Hello, welcome to TRADOC In Depth. I'm John Harlow with TRADOC News Service. Today we're talking to Dr. Michael Vlahos from Johns Hopkins University about Unified Quest. That's next on TRADOC In Depth. Vlahos, what do you bring to the table at Unified Quest?
Well, for the last several years, since 9/11, my research focus has been on change and conflict in the world of Islam. And the approach that I've taken has been to fasten on the deepest aspects of culture, and that is identity. And what we see happening in the Muslim world, and I think throughout the world as a whole, brought on by globalization, is a migration of identity. People's identities are shifting, and this helps to explain many of the sources of conflict in the Muslim world and potential sources of conflict throughout the world. And the central role that war plays in the realization of new identity, I think, is the key to understanding the entire world dynamic that we're facing. And by understanding that central role that war plays in shifting human identity, especially in the Muslim world, I think we can find the key that will allow us to unlock the problem that's become a strategic riddle for us over the last 7 years. And my most recent writing on this, Fighting Identity, which is in the last issue of Military Review, I think kind of lays this out. And I'm currently writing a book that will, with the same title, that I hope will sort of lay that out.
How has Unified Quest helped shape your thoughts on future policy and strategy issues?
Well, the wonderful thing about Unified Quest, especially a seminar game that's looking at developing and crafting new approaches to the problem, is a wonderful window for me onto thinking, onto the worldview, and the kind of changing approaches to the world that we see evolving and unfolding in the U.S. Army. And so what I'm able to see at a kind of granular level is how the Army is not only thinking about the problem, but how that thinking is changing.
What ideas have been generated at this seminar that will help in future missions?
Well, it's not so much an idea, but a tool that will allow us to better understand how we approach the problem of strategic thought. And that's a tool that addresses a central problem in the crafting of strategy, and that is understanding the hidden and unconscious limitations, prejudices, preferences that you have in terms of understanding the world. So that this tool that I'm trying to develop is going to allow us to better filter out all of those factors so that we can see reality as it is. Because only if you can stand back, pull away from your own needs and desires, and see the world as it truly is, are you going to be able to craft an effective strategy.
How important do you think it is for all of these different organizations to be participating in Unified Quest?
Well, the fact that there's so many more participating this year is wonderful. There is a heavy sort of government membership emphasis, and if there would be anything that I would add to the mix that we have now, it would be to broaden it further still. Understanding, of course, that you can't make it too broad, because you need people who, as it were, with the program, who understand what the needs are of an army that is wrestling with where we go from here. But I do think that within the world of Washington and the defense world, there is a sort of talking to each other aspect that is really enriched by having people from the outside. And one of the best sort of contributions this year, I think, is being made by foreign officers who are participating.
Dr. Vlahos, thanks for joining me today on TRADOC In Depth. With TRADOC News Service, I'm John Harlow.